Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back along to another episode of Saving Grandad's Farm. My name, as always, is Alex. We've been out in this 7840. We're going to come back to that in a little while, show you what we're doing with that. It's quite a cool little project, but I thought I'd take a few minutes here just to show you what's going on around the farm. We're going to have a proper look over the Massey, the 8140, which is just stuck in there. But first, we have got a beautiful Michaela Round Bailey here at the moment. This is the F550. We have got this for a couple of days to give it a blast, and it's on the case right now. So we're going to be doing that to bale up all the straw. We've finished the harvest. It's all in the books there. So we've got three separate fields to bale up. One field of rye straw, and the two spring barley, which are just over there really. So I've got another little project on the cards today, but we will come and have a go at that and see how we get on with it. I'm intrigued to see how it performs against the Galigani over there. So that's going to be on the books. But harvest went well. The rye came in pretty well, actually. I'm very happy with it. We sold it straight off the combine into local grain store as well there, so it took a little bit of time as a one-man job, but we've got it done, which is the main thing. But I really wanted to come and have a bit more of a look at this, the 8140 Massey Ferguson. This is ours. This is the new Massey for us, well, new to me, which we got as part of a trade-in for the county. Now it is also in need of a bit of TLC. Needs a little bit of love here, and as you can see, it wants a little bit of body work doing to it. That we can do, it's not a problem at all, but I'm just going to fire it up here. Sounds pretty meaty, I like it. And so this is a Dyna 4, and then we are looking at around about 165, I believe it is, on the horsepower scale. But we're going to take this out so we can have a better look at it out in the yard here, and then at some point we've got a tyre fitter coming who's going to start to swap out some of these tyres. It's a big tractor that squeezes in this shed, that's as much as I know. But yeah, now we've got a better chance with a little bit more time to as well have a bit of a better look at it in the yard here. There was a lot of mixed opinions about this when I unveiled it in the last episode. But yeah, it's something that we need. The county there wasn't able to do anything as to the extent this can. The power requirements weren't there. I want to get bigger. We're trying to get more land where we can, so really needed that opportunity to be able to do that. Wanted the new plough, so I wanted the second option to pull that. If the case is going to be on the drill, for example, I want this to be able to pull a plough along very handily indeed. And I think we're looking pretty good for that. So lots of power on the front end, lots of grip. Grip will only be enhanced as well once we change these tyres, which you can see are a little bit scrubbed out. They're a little worn. We've got a few different tyres of all sorts on here. There's some Trelleborgs on the back. I think 3 of them are Trelleborgs actually. That one is as well. And then this front one is as well. And then we've got a random Michelin on the back end there. So we're going to be going bigger. And it's going to be, yeah, I think these are, what we look at, R28s here, 540, 65s. We're going to go a little bit bigger in size, I reckon. On the front and the rear there, and get some new boots on. It will look great. I've got some oil filters, air filters, fuel filters arriving. We're going to change the oil on this as well, and give it a good service over there, and then just do a little bit of trim work, really, just kind of make sure it's all looking that a little bit better. But yeah, very nice indeed. Now this one actually has a 40k box. Most of these have a 30 in them. This one has a 40 there, which was a bit of an aftermarket edition by the previous owner, so we've got a little bit more speed out of it, which is great. Which was a real kind of rarity. I'm quite pleased to have got it. Sitting at around about 5,500 hours, so considering its age, it's really not got too many hours on there, which is another a real good positive tick, really, as far as I was concerned. So yeah, it's a nice tractor. It's a great tractor for us. It's a good example of some cheap power here, I would say. So this is, yeah, it's going to be one of our main tractors here. We do still have 4 again, somehow. But yeah, that's kind of how we'll be sitting for a while. But I do, yeah, I feel like if there's ever going to be a change again, the next one would be that Fiat, because it's a front-loader tractor, and we'd probably look to go away from a front-loader and onto a telehandler. But the finances aren't there for that this year at all, so we'll have to do that at some point. But yeah, ultimately a very nice tractor. Really looking forward to getting it onto the plough, I must say, and having a bit of a smash around with the plough. So we'll see how that looks. Hopefully that'll be something we can kind of get ticked off the list in the coming few months as we look to get all of next year's cereal crops worked in. But yeah, that's it. Nice little front weight on there as well. It's a big front weight actually. I think it's about 3/4 of a ton on that one. So it's a fair size, but yeah, it's pretty good. Elsewhere, everything else is looking good. The water station is working fantastically well. The orchard field is looking great and really thriving right now. Getting some good sun into the greenhouses, so the growing potential there is incredible. And yeah, everything's coming along very nicely. I'm over the moon with it, frankly, over the moon. More onions to take away. We're going to have to do another delivery of those probably this evening. But yeah, we're going to look at that later on, because for right now, we're going to go and have a look at the Ford. And we're going to take the Ford out to the field that we're restoring. And there's a few little things that we want to ensure that we're doing before we do any kind of grass work, before we reseed anything or plow it over there. Just doing this to ensure that we're on a good footing, really from a drainage standpoint. And on the back of here is an old Bomford mow plow. Now this guy it's brilliant actually. What this will do, we plow down the depth which is into the subsoil, and it forms especially when you get a good clay soil, which that is over there, it forms a very even and nice, like a drain, a nice little channel for water to drain through. So we've been doing that this morning. We had to come back for some more diesel as we were running a little bit low here. So yeah, we're looking good, and we're going to continue that. It's a big field, there's a lot to do. We've made a good start at least, and I want to make sure that we just continue to get cracking through with it. So and like I said, this is going to really help on a couple of fronts here. It will really will improve the drainage. It's going to stop some flooding in a particular area, because there is a small little hollow in this field which we're going to have a look at. So it's going to prevent anything too drastic happening there. And then we'll be able to, yeah, hopefully we'll let this kind of drain out over the winter there. We might try and reseed it with grass seeds just straight direct in top. We'll see how that goes. I think that should be an easy route to take. We'll yeah, hopefully we'll get that done this autumn. Give the grass seeds a chance to get established before it's too cold, and then we'll see how the field reacts over the winter really, and see how it gets on there. But yeah, I think we should be good. I think we should be good for a steady crop off there. Now we're just going to stop here first, because this is the rye field that's all done and dusted. And here you are. Combine with that auger, with the belt on there for the auger, is looking great. Again, no further issues. It's got through its first season with me remarkably well. So we just need to get it down. We're going to try and clear... we're not going to wash it down. We're just probably going to blow off all the dust and then leave it for the winter. Then we'll wash it down before we need to use it next year. But it's doing grand. It's really doing well. Like I say, another bad crop in here actually. Really wasn't rye, something that I never thought about growing before. We'll have to see how the samples go through and what that's going to look like in terms of how we're selling this crop. But it could be something that we bring back. We'll have to see. Yeah, overall fairly impressed with it, I must say. So we're just going to jump back on into here. This plow, by the way, I picked up for next to nothing. It's a scrap money, really, these things. But I paid about 150 bucks for it. I think I paid about 150 pounds for it, actually, so not too bad at all. So let's just go down. So you'll see when we get into the field here, the work that we've taken on already. I've got quite a bit done. But yeah, it is not quick work, I can tell you that much. I think I was going about 2 miles an hour. So it's going to take some getting through, but it's all we can do here. I think we'll just cut straight down here. And back into here we go. Okay. So as you can see, we do have a slight problem with this field in that there's a hollow right in the middle of it. So we've got to be careful how we drain this, because otherwise we don't want the drains leading straight into the hollow, because obviously gravity is going to take effect and the water's just going to pool up there even more than before. So what we've done, these are our drains. These are our mold drains down here, so they're running across the hill on an angle. So any water that runs down the hill this way will get intercepted by one of these drains before it gets into the hollow. And that should hopefully prevent that getting too bad. So what we'll do there, we could probably maybe get one more in there, but the cast is just about leveling off at the bottom, so we're going to stay where we are there for now. And then yeah, the drains are coming all the way over here. We're going to keep going at the same angle up over the field there, and then that will get all that drained off. We might look at doing something on the very far side as well, but like I said, I don't want to do too many because it'll I can't go too much further towards the main road there because it's just going to bottom out here, which wouldn't be good at all. So we're going to get my sighting back in here, and then we'll get ourselves away very shortly, I think. Looks like there's a bit of a hollow there, so we need to stay away from that. Oh, back here somewhere. And as you can see, it just looks like a very simple, slim pass over, really. You can't really see too much. This will all level out. If we brought like a grass roller or a Sahara's over here, that would kind of level out pretty quickly as well there, so that's kind of cool. And then it's still doing the job underneath. The soil will fold back in, pinch in, but leaving that little mold drain in the ground there. Alright, so I think we're all pretty much set there. We're going about 3 meter intervals here, which should be more than enough. And then, yeah, like I said, it's just going to take some time to get through this whole field, but it's essential, really, I would say. We need to get this this field looking in good shape. Then we're going to be looking to get some samples where we can sent away just to analyze what the soil conditions are like, so we can see what we're working with, what we need to add on to that. Fantastic. Through we are here. So like I say, we're coming through the steady 2 miles an hour, but look, it's doing the job, and it doesn't need to be quick, it just needs to be accurate, really. This field, I think we're going to keep it into grass. I don't know if we're going to put it into like a field grass, or maybe even look to get horse hay off it, or haylage even perhaps one day. But I think that will be the ultimate plan, and it should be. It's something I'm looking forward to see how we can progress with this. And I'd like to, part of the business model that we made was that we're going to be selling off a lot of fodder to various different equine industries, and so I really need to continue to ramp it up. We already sold all of the small hay bales that we made in the summer. They're all gone, they went fairly quickly, so more of those will be necessary. But I think there's a few things we need to figure out before we get to that stage in terms of logistics here, really. And that's to do with you know, which equipment are we using? Are we going to be buying a baler if we're going to be doing a lot of this? Are we going to be just borrowing the neighbor's baler again, which is not the most practical? But yeah, I think there's a lot that we can kind of focus in on there. But yeah, otherwise everything's looking great. It's improving that acreage. This is a field that we were able to buy for a very low deal. And stop that. Because because the field really wasn't really up to much. It needs a lot of work to reinstate it. It wasn't classified as much other than like just a simple low-grade grass field. So it wasn't like we had to pay over the odds because of the group classification there. I'm gonna bring this one right back to here. There you go. You'll hear the beeps. We've got a very primitive version of GPS on here just to keep me straight and true. And so that works quite well. Yeah, I picked that one up. I think all my tractors are going to have it. The Massey's probably going to get a little bit more of an advanced version on there, but it really does help out an awful lot to have such a thing. And yeah, we're cracking along. It gives you time to think about what else you got to work on really on the farm there and see how it's all going. The sheep at the moment are looking well. They're enjoying being outside. I do feel like I want to add some more and increase those numbers though if we're going to make any kind of go with the lamb side of things, just to get our numbers up a bit more. But we'll have to. I need to do a bit of math and a bit of sums to figure that one out to see, you know, if that's going to be possible to complete my my goals there. So we'll have to see about that one. Yeah, everything else is kind of progressing how we wanted to here. First harvest is done. There was initial kind of off the field results look pretty good in terms of tonnage. We'll have to have a proper sit down and review those at some point with you all. But yeah, I think it should be promising, really promising. We've got a lot more land to drill this year, so it'll be interesting to see how we can get along with that, and yeah, see about getting a full crop rotation in effect here, because I think that's going to be the next big step. We will be doing sort of one headland around here, I guess you could call it, just to wrap everything up. I want to pull that up there now. That can kind of be a catch as well. What we'll do with that is make sure that it stops and opens out into where the pond is down there as well. Because we've got that big water body down there though, we do have to be a little bit more careful around here. We can't be too generous when applying any fertilizers, either man-made or natural or organic. We can't put slurry down, for example, here when the ground's too hard. It's just going to run straight off. And we've got to be careful with how much is applied if we ever do get to that stage. Not that we have our own slurry. Muck we should be okay with, just got to be careful with it around the water source there. And then man-made fertilizers are going to be very limited in this field. Very limited indeed. But yeah, well, this one might get a bit tough because we're coming up to the tree. And we might miss one just to get around that tree there, I feel. We'll see. Yeah, otherwise, it's be curious to come back after our next big rainfall just to see how this all is coming in. See if it's actually having an effect. And hopefully see some drains running and not so much of a boggy bit down in where that tree is over there. That would be the aim. Because yeah, that has been a bit of a known issue with this field. But I hope you're all doing very well. Thank you ever so much for everyone who has taken the time to watch this. I do hope you are enjoying the series there. Let me know what you think about the Massey if you haven't done already. I know a lot of you were disappointed that the county is gone, but I felt like it was a justified call. And it should really allow the farm to kind of build on and kick on at some pace. We are always, I mean, that's the end of the goal, right? Just to get ourselves up to a position where we can grow and make this into a really functioning farm. So, which we're well on the way to doing. Now, I'm going to miss one here. That means I'm going to come in about there. Whoop. And then what I might do is just put a half in between the tree here or something, I think. Yeah, we bring that right back to here, then it's got a nice point to enter. Grand, and we're away again. Excellent. Quite easy to keep this forward at a nice steady speed actually, it's working well. Working well. Glad this field's not too much bigger though, because otherwise I think I'd start to lose my mind a little bit. But hey, we'll tackle this and then we'll move on to whatever's next. Hopefully we're going to get a buyer for this straw again soon, because I would like to get it cleared away. I don't have the luxury of too much shed space to be able to keep it in at the moment. I did mention in the last episode there that we did buy a new Dutch barn, which we have. We're just going to have to wait to see that arrive. It's been broken down at the moment in its current location. It's going to be sent to me in parts. And I might see actually if the fellas who are taking it down, see if they can actually build it up at the other end for me as well, because it'll save me an awful lot of time. So that might well happen, and that will really crank up the amount of storage space that we have for bales. So that will be fantastic to see. It does mean there'll be an awful lot of shuffling around to do, but that's an issue for me to resolve at a later date. And now this one here, I think we're going to go all the way up to the very end. And cut straight past the corner of that hedge there, which will limit the amount of water coming down the hill into the garden. And we'll be good. Although we might have to... When you have a small dip, this dip might be a bit too big, but when you have a low little dip, you can kind of control the level on the draft. I know a lot of you can even get more accurate mold plows, which will connect to a GPS, so they'll keep it at the exact same height. A lot of these drainage gear does as well. But that's probably where that's going to have to stop, I think. And then we might just have to change the angle that we come down into, feed into this one from there, I think. But that looks like it's going to be something for me to kind of think about here and mull over. We'll see how we get on with that one. I just wanted to show you what we're doing with this field and how we're going to salvage it and bring it back into full operation. So please do let me know what you think. And let me know how it's going there. And if you've got experience with land draining as well, because it's always an interesting point of discussion. I think we'll get away with one more about here though. That'll do it. That's less of a... Perfect. Alright, and so we're going to get this done, and then we'll be back onto the baling, so we're going to leave it here. Thank you ever so much for watching, folks. I do hope you have enjoyed. My name has been Alex. This has been another episode of Saving Grandad's Farm. We'll be back later on in the week with some more updates and a bit of a demo of that McHale baler as well. See how that's getting along, and we'll see you all in the next one. Till then though, folks, do stay safe, enjoy what you're doing as always, and we will see you in the next one. Till then, catch you later.